Well, Environment Canada has just issued an update on the heat wave impacting millions of Canadians, and CBC's Sarah Galashan is monitoring that from our breaking news desk and joins us with the details. So, Sarah, what did officials have to say?
Jacqueline, they talked a lot about this slow-moving ridge of high pressure that is responsible for the heat that central Canada and into Atlantic Canada are experiencing right now. Not only is it very hot, you're talking about the temperatures, but also there's the humidity on top of that, and it's creating a very muggy feeling. Very difficult to get relief from that, they're saying, and this will be a known experience for anyone who's going through it, but difficult to get relief because in the evening, because this is this heat event, the temperatures are not dipping by more than about 4 to 5 degrees. So there's not a lot of relief happening at night. Let's talk about exactly who this is affecting. We're seeing heat warnings and alerts throughout central Canada, Ontario, Quebec, into the Atlantic provinces as well. The map showing a lot of red there when you look at it. So for all of those people, obviously, any information you might be able to get about how much longer this is going to last. That's what everyone is sort of on the edge of their seats waiting for. They did talk about that. So let's play that clip.
Good news, though, the above normal temperatures are expected to ease on Friday, with the exception of extreme southern Ontario, where the above normal heat and humidity will linger until late Sunday. But until then, it will be a muggy, hot few days for eastern Canada.
They do describe this ridge of high pressure as a significant event. They won't know exactly how significant until it actually passes. That's the only way you can actually assess what the impact has been. But already they are looking at past heat events that have occurred in cities like Montreal, where the all-time high for June temperature in Montreal is 35 degrees, as I say, for June, and that was in 1964. Today, it's going to hit 34. So they're watching that one. Is that record going to maybe break? In Toronto, longest streak of above 40 humidex that lasted for 10 days. That was late August into September back in 1953. This one not likely to be sustained as long, but these are the kinds of things that they are watching, monitoring to see what records might break. Already yesterday, a couple records have broken. But as well, Jacqueline, they're also warning about the humidity, and the humidity creates conditions that storms can happen quite quickly. So they're advising everyone should be paying close attention to Environment Canada should they have to issue any storm warnings.
Sarah, we were just hearing from Allison Northcott about how some people were trying to stay cool. They're playing in the water. We saw a little fan on a baby stroller that seemed pretty smart. But what are officials talking about in terms of how people can stay cool and stay hydrated?
Yeah, you know, that fan actually is a pretty smart idea based on what they were saying. Health Canada was at that press conference in part not to just offer the advice, and Allison had she went through all of the advice that we've been hearing for days now, but they also really wanted to talk about what heat illnesses are and just how serious a heat illness can be. Take a listen.
Heat illnesses are mainly caused by overexposure to extreme heat or overexertion. These illnesses can include heat exhaustion, heat fainting, heat edema, which is the swelling of hands, feet, and ankles, heat rash, and heat cramps. And heat illnesses can also lead to long-term health problems or even death.
And they're issuing a reminder that when it comes to heat stroke, that is a medical emergency, in which case, if you see somebody else experiencing partial or total loss of consciousness, I think in that case you would obviously want to call 911, but also if someone is confused, has a high body temperature, has stopped sweating, those are indications that heat stroke is happening or could be happening. This is an emergency. You should call 911, and in the meantime, seek shade, wet clothes, pour water on the clothes, fan the person trying to get to bring down the body temperature. But this can be very serious, and we know, as you heard in that clip, this ultimately can cause death, and that is really what they want to try and avoid, obviously.
Yeah, some really important warning signs there, Sarah. That's the CBC Sarah Galashan in Vancouver.